Yo, what's up, man? It's your boy Marcel. People ain't checking in. Yeah, so today's One Song Wednesday record is Where I Stay. Today is the 4th anniversary of probably my best work I've ever put out, Cry Freedom. This was the first single off of it, produced by Joe, and the track features Substantial. Ain't gonna waste no time. Let's get into it.
Law and order, crime. And when they talk about law and order and crime, who do you think the public is thinking about?
Who? Man, hold up.
Not our sisters so much.
Rest in peace, Pimp C. Yo. Man, it's a trip with us. Them laws is trying to lock us up in prison. Yo. Bad boy shit. Yo. I'm coming live from where the bloods on the blocks be. Gangsters in the God's bill, Crips in the cops beat. The type of nigga crack rock was made for, who age tried to decimate in 83, 84. So that means I'm a product of my environment. Raised under Reaganomics, street gang violence in poverty-stricken communities that we live in, where the education system is a gateway to prison. The people peep to see how many fail the leak test, so when we get older, they got prison cells on deck to send youngers when laws are violated, mostly out of circumstances, sheer desperation. That's why I'm out here every day, trying to show these youngers that there is a better way. Trying to fight against the structure that designed to throw us under. It's trill out here where I stay, word the mother. Yo. Man, it's a trip where I stay, especially for me. The laws are trying to lock us up for a whole century. Now this is based off a conversation that I had with my young boy. I said, come here, young blood. Look. You see, we gotta understand that there's a systematic plan to enslave poor people with a permanent tan. The private prison industries, a $1 billion business, while state prosecutors making millions lynching niggas. They need you to be criminal, even if it's minimal. Give you work, lock you up, basically they pimping you. Give you the pistol, you pull that trigger, you aim and squeeze, you shoot that nigga, not thinking about that loot they getting while your black ass up in prison. If you read the 13th Amendment, the Emancipation Proclamation clearly states that slavery is now outlawed everywhere except if you are incarcerated. Right now, there are more black folk locked up in the system than there were slaves back in 1850. My people sick with this prison system cancer. It's the new Jim Crow. Ask Michelle Alexander. Especially for me. It's hot out here, man. Man, it's a trip where I stay, especially for me. Yeah. That's where I stay. Give me a break. So yeah, man, that was Where I Stay. You know what I'm saying? The first single off of my classic album, which I'm gonna talk about a lot within the next couple of hours, you know what I'm saying, for the rest of the day. You know what I'm saying? Cry Freedom, first single. It originally debuted on the Grand Union soundtrack. I mean, the compilation, which is a whole nother story I may tell later. But yeah, man, it dropped, maybe February of 2016. No. So first dropped November 2016 or whatever, 2015. And then, dropped, I guess I re-released it with the full artwork and stuff sometime that spring or whatever. But yeah, so the way that song came about was literally, I was reading Michelle Alexander's new Jim Crow. And, I've been an educator, both asset-based and deficit-based. And, it's just an amalgamation of a lot of the information that I was reading at the time based upon myself being an educator and a lot of the conversations that I would have with the young people, you know what I'm saying? And, like I said, I've always made, in some way, what I call conscious rap for gang members, you know what I'm saying? So, wrote this record, and the second verse particularly, I remember, and unfortunately, this young brother, like, he went on like a crime spree, you know what I'm saying? But he was real cool. I had him when I was at AMI. I ain't gonna say his name. He's adult now, but I ain't gonna say his name. It was back in 2012. And this is a conversation I had with him, you know what I'm saying? And just kind of, you know, breaking it down piece by piece and showing that how like a lot of the action, like how the system is built for us to fail. You know what I'm saying? And it works how it's supposed to work for us to fail. And just trying to put him up on game and how some of the things that we might do in the streets, we're complicit in our own oppression or whatever. So, you know, ran into him or whatever, and you know, Joe sent me the beat, had the Farrakhan speech at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? I can't remember where the sample comes from, but it's really, really dope. You know, straight up, you know, like the whole purpose of Cry Freedom, man, we was attempting to do like conscious country rap tunes. And I feel like that's a great example of a country rap tunes beat, complete with Rest in Peace, you know what I'm saying? Pimp C on the hook, you know what I'm saying? Stuff that it still gonna sound good on speakers. Even though it's a slower song, you know what I'm saying, it's still a crowd favorite or whatever. And, you know, it sound good in the whip. The Rap Dad minivan, if you got an old school slab, it still sound good in there. Yeah, so as far as how I got substantial on the record, you know, we was rocking real tough 2011, 12, 13. And I told him I wanted to be on my album or whatever. And he was like, look, I know I'm from the East Coast. He's from the DMV area. He said, look, you know what I'm saying? I know I'm from the East Coast, but I don't want to do no East Coast shit or whatever. He was like, man, Big Crit is one of my favorite artists. And so it was enough. So the song I originally sent him to be on back in 2012 was what ended up being Another Way to Pray, which was the final track on Black Collar or what have you. So, and that came out in 2014. But this, you know, I sent him this beat, and this is what he chose, and he gave me a great verse that kind of tied along. You know what I'm saying? You know, I talked about the school to prison pipeline and, you know, the 13th Amendment of slavery and things of that nature. And, you know, I talked about, you know, the war on drugs and things of that nature. He brought it on home talking about, you know what I'm saying, police brutality and the corruptness, you know what I'm saying, in policing or whatever, the corruption in policing rather. So, you know, it was just real cool, good record. It's still a crowd favorite. You know, I think it's very, you know, both of our verses are very, I guess, you know, timely for what's going on right now, you know what I'm saying, which is a blessing for me as an artist to make, you know what I'm saying. Unfortunately, the conditions haven't changed, but to have music that still speaks to people, you know what I'm saying, that's what I've always tried to do. You know, like I said, and I'm going to talk about this a lot today, but today is Cry Freedom's 4-year anniversary. Give me a second. Still got mad physical CDs, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. MarcelPBlack.bandcamp.com or whatever. You can also get your Cry Freedom mask, and we're about to repress some Cry Freedom shirts. You know what I'm saying? But where I stay, that's the record. Shout out to Joe. He produced the whole Cry Freedom album. We created a classic. And I'm going to say this again several times or whatever. I feel like I was the artist, the Baton Rouge underground hip-hop artist of the decade, of the 2010s. And a lot of it has to do with this particular album. I love my hobby, freedom.